Russell's done the right thing by coming to me. These little fellas have been with me for 25 years.
You're just a long-haired hippie. Yep.
My little composty worms.
Well, look, I'm really excited. You know, what I've got here is I'm just going to come and grab some red wrigglers. Now, red wrigglers are a specialist composting worm. So that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up a worm factory, and I have the expert here, Neil. Now, Neil's just in Warwick, and he's a specialist worm farmer, and you've only been doing it a couple of years, so I'm told?
Only a couple of decades, yes.
A couple of decades. Well, there you go. And so whenever you want to know anything about worm and worm castings, Neil's your man. So, Neil, what's the benefit of growing worms or using worms in your compost?
All of our worms are basically used for recycling. They're for turning waste product into fertiliser. That's the main value of the all. And people are finding now with their kitchens, they can, if they don't have chooks, they can put their waste into a worm farm, and they use the factories quite a lot. And out the bottom of the factories, they get worm castings, which is solid, like a beautiful, sweet-smelling rainforest dirt, which is the best fertiliser in the world, or they get the liquid out the bottom.
It's good shit, you're trying to say. It's good shit. Yeah.
I said it very nicely, didn't I? Or the liquid worm tea or liquid worm castings, which you spray on top of your plants, spray it over veggies, plants, flowers, and then stand back. Because you'll see a difference within days. Yes.
Yeah. And this is what it's about. Like what we talk about all the time is that renewable resources, sustainable agriculture, and this is something you can do in your backyard. You know, instead of having rotten food stuff going to waste, throw some worms in there, get it all done, put it in your garden. Awesome. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah, I feed them totally on animal manure rather than because it's a lot easier for me actually, because when I put the manure in there, that's the worst it's ever going to get. It's not going to get mouldy, it's not going to go rotten, so I don't have to put a lot of time over here with my feeding. You just put manure in, and it actually improves from that point on. That's why I use manure, but that doesn't you know, people want to get rid of their waste, their scraps now, so that's what they use. So
you got to remember, Neil is doing this like professionally, you know, so he's growing worms for sale, you know, and to move on. So, you know, this is an industrial size worm farm, you know.
Yeah, I keep these pits here as 3 metres by 1.5 metres. I usually have about 4 of them working at any one time. I did have 14 working at one time, but just having 4 run properly now meets the demand from the adoring public.
So how far away do you sell? How far out do you sell your stuff?
We try to stick to southern Queensland. We post worms every week in. We put them in like a pillow sack inside of a box with holes in it, and post them off. It's always a big giggle at the post office when I bring in 8,000 worms from the post, and we have a bit of fun with them down there. Mainly South Queensland. That's mainly because of Australia Post. You know, you can't trust them to be on the surface underneath the cover.
Yeah.
So with your factory, you've got to have a cover, like whether it's let's see if I can get you.
So you're going to use the actual box, aren't you? That box. Yeah.
Have you got a black factory? Have you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, Neil, thanks very much for our new lovely worms and everything. So that's an awesome week. We'll keep you posted on how they're going and setting up the worm farm, because off camera, Neil's just going to give us some pointers to set it all up, and away we go. So thanks very much, Neil. Appreciate it.
Good luck with your worms.
That could be sounded wrong, couldn't it? Yeah, these are the commercial ones. I bought this second hand, you know, and it's about $5, 15 bucks, I think, you know. But it's area of 3 trays. Okay, this is the worm farm, and inside there is just another cavity, you know, with the that allows the worm juice to come out, except once it's finished. So what I've got to do is make up the little beds now. So I've cut a bit of cardboard for the bottom tray to stop them falling through, but this hole there is just in case they do go through, or they'll eventually eat that out. That allows them to come back up, because they always work up from their trays, you know. So eventually you'll have the 3 trays set up through there, and they'll be at the top, you know. So Right now, I've got a load of shit. There you go, look. There you go. Ooh, lovely, lovely shed. Okay, so we just push there. So now I've got the good, you know, good 50 centimeters worth of good cow manure in this one. Okay, so I bought 2,000 of these worms. Just sort of, you know, there they go. Just sort of a bit slow in the morning here, but I'm gonna let them have their way with this shot. There you go. Then we just sort of, you see them? There you go. Well, so it's a pretty cold morning, so they're not real lively, you know. But how's that? Looking good, eh? Now I'm just gonna cut a bit of hessian, you know, just put it as a layer over the top for them, you know. So see, it hasn't taken them long, and they're already burrowing down beneath the surface. I'm going to put a bit of other food on top of this as well. Our worm man Neil told us to, if you can, you put you know, to make it easy for the worms to get them, and just macerate the food first, and they love it. You have a quick blender thing, you know, so it just macerates it up for them. Because this is the idea, just to use all the food scraps, or some of the food scraps, the amount of stuff we go through, we get it from a restaurant as well, so we do have quite a bit of food scraps to go through. Well, I just use that in my ordinary composting garden, you know. We thought we'd try this. All put to bed now, and we'll put them all in this little hut. So there it is, all sitting in the garden, ready to go. So just got to put the lid on it. So there we go. There's the newly minted worm factory, and actually that's what I've got to be reminded of, that it's a worm factory. You know, that it's not a worm farm. That's what Neil said to me. Okay, so here we go. All right, keep happy munching.